side word.
Next one we'll do my one.
Yay.
This is called Japan's Hunk Dads.
Oh,
So
Dev, how do you feel about that?
I'm Filipino.
So you're not
So
a hunk.
nothing.
Doesn't matter. Emma calling other men hunks.
Oh.
that's not
It
just
really
what I
upsets him,
call
can't you tell?
So basically in Japan, there's a massive push to get fathers more involved in child rearing. And there's a name for them. They're called the ikumen, but I could be pronouncing that wrong. Apologies. So that word basically is a combination of ikuji, which is childcare, and ikemen, which is hunk, right? So it wasn't just me saying hunk. Anyway, so basically childcare hunk, right? So it's actually the government, so Minister of Health, Labour and Welfare, that have been launching a push for this to happen and to have both parents involved in the family as each other with raising the children. So basically now it's all the rage for dads to be taking like a really active role and like sort of like, look at me, I'm a great dad. But apparently like they're actually taking pleasure in it. Like they're like, I'm really enjoying spending this time with my children. Like they want to put that persona out there. So yeah, that's what's going on there right now. It's in magazines. There's a fatherly, like there's a quarterly fathers magazine. There's a Mr. Ikumen pageant. I think I'm saying it wrong. Ikumen.
Are they glamorizing being a dad? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. And like celebrities will
And they're
be
just
like
making dads
pictured
do
with
what they're
their
meant to be doing anyway.
children.
That's what I'll be curious to know, like what
Don't do it
the
before.
I guess rate of dads staying in the home. Like, why was there a need for this?
Yeah.
Well, Japan's like a traditional country, like you were saying earlier, and basically the men were basically workaholics or just traditional, go out and work, provide for the family. I think I wrote down somewhere, I don't know if I wrote it down, but basically they'd come home and the only time they'd see their children would be like, it says 40 minutes interacting with their children on an average work day. This was back in the 80s, not just Japan either, like a lot of countries across the world. And that was usually just during the family meal. So they're just wanting to basically try and get the fathers more involved. I think that's awesome.
Loads of benefits. That's good.
That's awesome, right? Except a lot of the women are like, well, what about us? Like, they're just doing what we do all the time and they're being like hailed as a hero.
That's what I find interesting. I find the fact that it's sort of like the glamorization of being a dad. Like, I don't know. You know when you're at work and someone does their job and they go, yeah, we're getting rewarded for that. And you're kind of like, well, no, it's your job. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about this. Like, you're supposed to be a dad. You're supposed to spend time with your kids. Like,
That's true. So it's good in the fact that like they're trying to promote a change, which is obviously better for everyone, right? But then, there's that other side like, well, that is what you're supposed to do. It's like when people say, it's like when the dads say, oh, I can't come out tonight. I'm babysitting the kids. It's like, no, you're not babysitting them. They're your children.
You're watching
You're
them.
just...
You're
at home.
Looking after your responsibilities.
You're parenting.
You're parenting. Yeah.
Being a parent today, sorry.
So,
I won't be a parent.
Got the
I'll be all
kids.
good.
It kind of goes one of those things, because I know some people have said before, like, oh, like being a parent, you should have to like qualify to. I don't agree with that. But
okay, right.
there is very little education in way of how to be a parent. When you factor in, I know, or at least in England, age of consent, 16, you could be a parent at 16.
Yeah, before you can drink alcohol.
How much? Yeah, you can't drink. But like, how much do you know as far as what that responsibility entails? And
do you ever know?
Nah, I don't.
Well, you can be educated from experience point of view, can't you? But
It's parenthood is learning on the job.
Yeah.
I think
Your experience comes from having
definitely.
kids.
I don't think any book like it. No. Like it doesn't matter what books you read, because then they're just giving what they think. Like, do you know what I mean?
I'm not talking about like the morals and ethic. Like,
Oh,
none of
no.
that. I mean, literally things of like, for example, childbirth. I've never been through it, don't know it, but I know there's certain things that happen during childbirth I didn't know. Like, unless someone told me, I wouldn't have known them.
I don't want to
I feel
know.
like there has got to be things to do with.
You don't want to know. You don't. Alexander,
like
don't read any books. Don't.
I feel like there's got to be
What
things.
are you
as a
trying to
parent.
say? Yeah, like nothing bad
That-
happened. Like what he's probably referring to,
What are you talking about?
like when I gave birth.
What do you mean? Oh, no, it wasn't like it wasn't.
Are you referring to like what people go? Oh,
What do you mean?
oh, nothing. Let's move on.
About
feel like this is
ladies,
getting personal.
shooting themselves. This is what she's
I know what
saying.
you're
Thanks,
referring to.
CJ.
You're welcome. I had to make it clear.
Oh no, nothing like that. It's just
That didn't
it's
happen.
not-
I'm just putting it out
yeah.
there.
Oh no,
But
I didn't say.
Are there not like? I feel like there are non-subjective things. There are
No.
completely objective things about being a parent that
So-
you can learn.
So we went to the
Antenatal classes.
antenatal classes, right? And they showed us childbirth, like a video, and I was like, what's this? What are we doing here? I don't want to see that. What's this? And the baby's coming out. You're like, oh,
It's happening.
you should have warned us. Where's the warning before the video? Where's the
You were
warning?
in a class about childbirth.
Yeah, but
That is the warning.
I thought it was gonna be.
You weren't at the cinemas choosing a movie. You
What
were
a-
there to watch a movie on
But I
childbirth.
didn't think
What
they
do you
were gonna
expect to
actually
see?
show the baby coming out.
Okay, when they put the
What do you think
screen on,
childbirth is?
I thought they were gonna do the breathing. I thought they were gonna like
We
do.
did do that.
Yeah,
Like a Lamaze class.
yeah, but they actually showed. Here it is. This is what's gonna happen. You're like, I don't want to see someone else's vagina. I don't want to see this. I didn't sign up for this. This is too. That was more traumatic
Scarring.
than actually what happened in the because you can choose to stay above the so you don't see it coming out. That's that. I was just like,
It.
oh hello, hi.
No,
was at
Dev,
the
I'm just
you
watching Emma's
almost
face.
missed the birth of your child. Why?
I was in the toilet. I had to
Wait,
do my.
what?
I had to go toilet.
he had something else to give birth to.
Legitimately, legit. He's like starting to like. He's like, do you mind if I just like? He stood there and he's like starting to get all like. He's like, do you mind if I just go, just for a little bit? And
What?
he didn't say
This-
where, nothing. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And he doesn't come back. And then the obstetrician's like, right, you're ready to push now. And I'm like, Dev's not here, right? And he goes, well, just wait for your husband to come back.
3 hours later.
We're waiting. He the obstetrician gets all his equipment, gives me the snip. Yes, the snip. Everything's ready. And he's like, where is he? Dev comes waltzing in as if it's nothing and literally takes like a couple of footsteps in the door. And he's like, right, push. And baby comes out like, what the heck? Do you know where he was?
I was
In the toilet doing a number 2.
Yeah,
And the lights
No.
the lights weren't working. So he was like in pitch black with...
I had to get my iPhone. It was pitch black, and I was like,
And he's just taking
I've
his
done that
sweet
before.
time.
hang on
as
a
well.
sec. Wait. Emma's acting like I was. It was a 10-hour labor. Was it 12-hour labor?
Can't remember. Yeah,
So I was there for the 11 hours before that. She's forgetting that.
And
she's
he has,
she's
like,
making
a
like
set-
she's making like I went to the pub. I hung out with my mates.
Yeah, you called me that day.
I
He
was-
said, hey, Siege, I'm having a kid. I'm like, oh, sweet.
No,
I was like, I was there for 11 hours
because you have a
with
set
you.
toilet schedule, and we'd gone past it. So he was like, the reason he was like, all like, oh, it's because he's like, I need the toilet.
This is. I got a routine. It's 6 a.m. Shit, this has got to come out.
Shit happens at 6 a.m.
Literally.
This has got to come out.
But it was
I
very
love how you
close.
painted that
It
picture.
was very
oh,
close.
yeah.
Nearly missed
So
the
he
baby.
stayed
Wait,
at the pub.
which baby was this? 1, 2, 3.
2.
They're good names. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. It's almost like Absidy.
ABCD.
It was number 2.
Number 2.
Yeah. You're
This is
doing a number
absolutely-
2
this is-
while number 2 was
Okay,
happening.
Number two.
Huh?
Poor little fella.
But
No,
do
that
you not
wasn't
think,
it.
as a parent, do you not think there's anything
Oh.
objective that you... Is there not something that you would teach? Like, okay, I'm about to have a kid.
classic.
I'm about to have a kid next week. What's your advice? Go.
Oh yeah, like I mean, everyone, people,
Be there.
parents love giving
Be there.
advice.
Absorb the abuse.
Oh, you're asking
She's
for
always
advice.
right. She's always right.
We talk about
The wife
marriage?
or the child?
At life, like when you're married, she's always right.
Talking about marriage.
It's just not going to stay.
Birth during, I don't know. As a kid, like as a parent.
My advice is you have to do what is right for you, and how you can, and however best you're able to cope with the situation.
See, you lot are rubbish at this advice. I'm talking like when I've seen these videos where the doctor's like, yeah, if your baby's crying, hold it like this, it's going to stop crying. No, but like, I don't want subjective. I need like, this is what I'm saying.
That's not subjective.
Emma, you tell other people that advice.
That's not subjective.
But they're not answering my question. I'm asking specifically for objective things. You're giving me subjective.
Like, what do you want
Don't
to know?
hold the baby around by its arms.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
feet are better.
Like when I
Stronger,
asked you at first, and like Dev, you said no. When it comes, like, you've got to learn on the job. I'm saying right. That I feel like it's very true, but is also mostly true for subjective. Whereas there's got to be things that are the same for every parent. There has to be.
Well,
all babies
yes,
poop.
You'll
like,
learn what a number 3 is.
Like,
that's going to be the same for every parent.
What's number 3?
Number 3.
All right. Here's one that you'll don't freak out when you see black poo. The first time you wipe the baby's bum, it'll be black.
There you go. That's one.
That's objective.
See, there you go. That's the type of thing I'm talking about.
I think the first
as far as like,
I was hungry.
First week,
Until
first week, is it just black?
The umbilical cord isn't just gone when you give birth. They have to cut it, and it's got a stump for until it falls off naturally. That's another one, and it's not that pleasant.
That's another one to add to the list.
The number 3s. So that's a poo
is
explosion.
it number 3 just number 1 and number 2?
Huh?
Sorry, I missed that.
No, number 3.
Number
is the
3
explosion.
is what is known as a poo explosion.
Up the back.
Goes up the back or all over the clothes, and that's legitimate for every child.
Every child.
I'm so nervous.
Get the baby, get the mother to breastfeed, because so you don't have to get up during the night.
Oh, I thought you were going to mean like instead of the father.
No.
Get the mother to breastfeed, not the father.
Yeah, true. We both have nipples. Confusing. It's the mom's nipples which have the milk.
The milk doesn't come in straight away. It takes about 5 or 6 days.
Yep.
Before you have milk.
Yeah, but before that is colostrum, and that is like liquid gold. So that's like the highest, like all your nutrients and everything like that. It's really thick, really sticky, but it's not actually the milk.
So she's gonna the mum, if you can get the mum to do the breast pump.
Wait.
So she can have sleep-ins, and then you can like.
Yeah, but we never
feed.
did that.
But what's the definition of milk? I thought that is milk if it comes out.
No, it's not. It's colostrum. It's not white. It's not anything. It's completely made up of different properties, and it's like sticky and like gold looking or.
Gold.
It's not really gold looking. It's just like.
Oh boy.
I don't want to search it. I'm like, do I type this in or do I leave?
This is definitely one of the weirder ones.
It's not gold. Sorry, it's like
yellowy,
very thick yellow, but it's like different because obviously milk looks white, but this is like really thick, sticky yellow liquid substance thing.
Colostrum.
Yes.
You can buy it as well. Oh yeah, I see.
Is it man-made bought or is it?
It looks like banana milk.
Woman-made, I guess.
Kind of like banana milk mixed with orange juice.
Kind of.
Banana milk.
What other objective things can we say?
I don't know.
You see how cute Japanese
But you get what?
babies are.
So like those types of
babies
things,
are
I feel
only
like
awake
you could teach.
for like probably an hour a day for the first at least couple weeks, and then it gradually gets longer.
So like me.
Something happened, TJ. You just kept it going. It
was a good nap. And 1 minute warning. 1 minute warning.
1 minute warning. So look at, there's a graph here where it says it's got a list of countries and it says who has the most weeks of paid parental leave. The first country that has the highest is South Korea. They have 53 weeks of paid parental leave.
Wow.
So 53.
Yes.
That's a year.
This is
I wonder why.
This is for the father only.
Yeah, I wonder why.
For the
That's
father.
So specific. Yeah, but sorry, I'm way off point. I'm just wondering why 53, not 52.
I don't know.
Why make it a week longer?
So this is just for the father. And then Japan has 52 weeks.
Which is understandable.
France 28, Sweden 14, Norway's 10, Germany's 9.
No, that's wrong.
Oh.
Yeah, you told us about Norway, didn't
This
you?
was in 2016, Maxie, so it might have
Because
changed.
Norway, you have a split way as well, don't you? Like where you can share.
That's always been. You have to by law take 14 weeks, but you're allowed up to 52
This
weeks.
is for the father alone.
Oh, for the father alone?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he has to by law take an X amount of weeks, but he's allowed up to. I don't know what he's allowed up to.
Because didn't you say there's some sort of way you can share some time as well?
Yeah, so okay. That's to the father alone we were talking about.
Yeah, just the dad.
Oh.
So in South Korea, the dad alone can take 53
Whoa.
weeks.
I've been robbed 6 weeks. I never took any weeks
Would
off.
you?
I'm moving to South Korea.
Or Japan.
knocking up
52
ladies.
weeks.
Knock
53 weeks off a year.
Go
Constantly on
get a
holiday.
job. What you do, CJ, you go on holiday, you knock her up. 9 months later, you go back, get a job, and then you never work for the rest of your life. Just keep
Oh my
knocking her up.
Yeah,
Gosh.
because
That's
every
a great
year
way
you should
to-
be pumping out a kid.
That's a great way to end it.
Canada and US have 0.